I take very seriously everything that's going on, not just to Orlando, but in our country. I've enjoyed my service here a lot. So I'll go home later this week, and I'll have some time with my family, and then if there's been a change in our status, I'll be sure to let everyone know.
That was Senator Marco Rubio back on May 15th saying maybe. Today, Rubio said he will run again for his Florida Senate seat. The 45-year-old Republican senator made the announcement this morning. He said he decided to seek re-election after meeting with his family in Florida over the Father's Day weekend. Rubio had come under intense pressure from his own party, who feared that if he didn't run, the GOP could possibly lose its majority in the Senate. In a written statement today, Rubio said, "I understand my opponents will try to use this decision to score political points against me. Have at it, because I have never claimed to be perfect or have all the answers." The junior senator from Florida may not have all of the answers, Zach Anderson, but does he have the will to win this race?
You know, he better, because this is probably his last shot. If he loses here, he's in big trouble. You know, he already lost statewide once this year to Donald Trump in the Republican primary. If he loses again statewide, it seems very unlikely that he'd be able to rehabilitate his political career. You never know, but 2 wins in a row is a bad sign. You know, it's a whole different ballgame going from a presidential race to a Senate race. You know, smaller crowds, you know, you're on the road more. It'll be really interesting to see, you know, if he really puts his nose to the grindstone and goes after it hard. I would assume that he is. I think he's kind of saw his political life flash before his eyes when he considered taking a pass on this and thought, well, you know, I really do want to stay in the spotlight and stay on the national stage.
In his written statement today, he managed to take a shot at Donald Trump, saying we can possibly work with him, but you also need people like me in the Senate who can essentially call him when it's necessary. Where are he and Trump, do you think?
You know, it's interesting. He's sort of tried to have it both ways with Trump. He said that he will support him and, you know, would even speak at the convention on his behalf. But at the same time today, you know, obviously he took some shots at him, said that he has some big problems with some of his positions. So it seems like he's trying to maintain a little bit of distance from Trump. Trump has been struggling lately. He fired his campaign manager. He's been tanking in the polls nationally and here in Florida. So, you know, some people are concerned that he could drag down people, you know, lower down on the ticket, like a state senator, U.S. senator. So, you know, I think he's trying to keep a little bit of distance there, and it'll be interesting to see if he can walk that tightrope, because he could alienate some of Trump's supporters.
Very important, I suspect, to have the support of Jeb Bush. Where do you think that relationship is right now?
Yeah, it was interesting. I saw another reporter tweet out that he had emailed Jeb and asked about Rubio and whether he would endorse him, and he said he would if Rubio asked. So there seemed to be a lot of bad blood after the presidential race. A lot of people thought that Rubio should have waited, that it was Jeb's turn to run, and that, you know, that he was kind of stepping on his mentor's toes in running, and that you know, some people in Bush's team kind of blamed Rubio for Bush failing. You know, that obviously, in retrospect, it seems like, you know, the Trump kind of hurricane was the big issue there. And I think Bush, you know, he wants to be seen as a team player. He did have a close relationship with Rubio, and I think he'll eventually come around to Rubio, and he's apparently said as much already.
Political editor Zach Anderson from the Herald-Tribune.